Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Enthralling, enchanting, and electrifying. The E-word played a significant role at the 8th edition of eINDIA as eminent leaders and professionals from across the country came together to facilitate change by means of technology, innovation, and integration.
eINDIA Summit, which has been going on here in Hyderabad, is a good platform for interaction among the IT industry participants, both in the government sector as well as in the private sector. As you know, both these sectors have to go in tandem to achieve the real benefits of ICT in public services, in B2B services, and in G2B and G2C services.
So much is happening in e-governance area. We need a forum to share the ideas, share the best practices, debate and improve the e-governance journey of our country. And this is one such place where it can happen.
It's a platform in application e-governance, and particularly in critical sectors like education, healthcare, financial management, and bringing the policymakers, the IT establishment, and all those who have a stake directly, indirectly, all the media together in one platform and share knowledge, information, the new ideas.
In terms of the eGov track, it's an opportunity for good case studies to be presented, success models are presented, a lot of learnings take place through that, and because of cross-sharing of ideas and airing of opinions, a kind of a concrete national strategy for eGov gets evolved, and which actually helps the country in the long run.
The summit took off with a grand inauguration by the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. N. Kiran Kumar Reddy. Who took a tour of the exhibition organized at the event and also addressed the audience along with the other ministers.
How do we use technology for the common man? How is it going to be beneficial to the poor, to the people who are not fortunate enough to study, who are illiterate? How do you use technology for their benefit? That is what this idea of Me Seva has come through. Technology, when it is useful for the common man, for the benefit of the Aam Aadmi, and when it becomes cheaper, that is when technology is going to sell. That is what technology is required. Technology without affordability is of no use. If the common citizen cannot afford the technology, it's of no use, unless it comes within the reach of the common man. That is what competition has brought in. What does a common man want? He does not want anything from the government. He wants an hassle-free life. He does not want to waste his time. He does not want to get all his services by paying bribe. I think this is one of the most innovative things we have done.
Growth, governance, and people's welfare are closely interlinked and depend to a large extent on how effective a nation puts knowledge to productive use and generation of wealth. For bridging the digital divide, especially in rural areas, building infrastructure is indispensable. In addition, any creation of infrastructure should be accompanied by education on ways of using internet. In the 12th five-year plan, education and literacy are our high priorities.
People, the mobility activities, I think we're taking over the rural area and urban.
With a focus on changing the lives of people through efficient, hassle-free and a transparent interface, the think tanks discussed various concepts converging information and communication technology with governance. One such topic was smart cities in India.
We have many challenges, but I have put it from a mobility standpoint of how mobility can help. And I was reading some articles where I was given to understand that the urbanization is happening at twice the pace of what the population is growing. So if we look at the next 5 years, 10 years, the kind of cities what we have, the kind of infrastructure what we have, how they are being governed now, if we don't get some of these things in place, we will have a nightmare. Now, what are the specific areas from a mobility perspective that can be targeted? Inspection applications. Municipalities, I think a lot of eminent people are here from various municipalities. There are a lot of inspection which happens from the municipalities. At this point of time, it's all paper and pen based. And again, it is not in a structured way, and the information is not being captured, or the actual information which is happening on the field is not being input into the back-end database system.
No single city is doing all the projects. For example, Kanpur, GIS-based property tax system it has introduced, and it is good for the government, it is good for the citizens. It is doing well. At present, we are improving upon eSuvidha system. There were only 2 or 3 services like property tax payment and then water fee, etc. used to be paid. Now we are bringing in more such services into eSeva. From 10 years henceforth, what has been done in last 110 years can be done in last 10 years.
Some of the salient features of eSeva, the legal backdrop, the legal arrangement which has been done is...
eSeva to eSeva is another interesting initiative taken by the government of Andhra Pradesh.
eSeva became possible because it came as a way. It came as a...
On the first anniversary, the panelists spoke of eSeva and its benefits to the common man.
Actually, there are 10 ways by which people can pay electricity bills in Maharashtra. They can go to Setu Kendras, they can go to even pan shops authorized by municipalities to pay the bills. The pan shop guy gets 3 rupees in that transaction. They can go to MSCB website and pay the bill. They can go to multiple partners' websites and pay the bill using debit card, credit cards. They can even go to machines, standalone machines, in which you can put coins and notes, and the printed slip comes out. So there are about 10 ways. So now eSeva or eSeva, the fundamental concept is that people don't have to walk long distances. That's number one. They should be able to get it at their home or near their homes going to a CSC. Second, what is called Citizens Charter or assurance of timelines in a delivery of service. That ration card will be delivered in 5 days, or the reason will be told why it cannot be given.
eSeva is an integrated service delivery gateway created in the state of Andhra Pradesh, wherein we are providing a whole range of G2C services to the citizens living in both rural and urban areas through an integrated framework where digital signatures are being used, where citizens need not go to a government office for getting these services. They're all provided through multiple kiosks. We have more than 6,000 centers both in urban and rural areas. And it's a public-private partnership model wherein all these local kiosks are operated by these village-level small entrepreneurs. I call them small entrepreneurs because they are the ones who are kind of eking their livelihood out of it, and are at the cutting edge providing these services to the citizens.
I was the person who started eSeva, and I also was associated with eSeva. So for all these 10-12 years, I have been in touch with what is happening, and I have contributed significantly to these projects. So I'm very happy that this event is giving a focus on eSeva. This is basically to ensure that the citizens of this country need to be served better. The old systems had their own way of providing services. There are certain limitations, physical limitations in how efficiently services could be delivered in the past. But now the days are different, and the expectations of the citizens are different. The needs of the citizens are different. So we have to transform the service delivery paradigm, and that's what eSeva tried to attempt and succeed in this.
The discussion was seamlessly closed by the eSeva Awards, which felicitated stakeholders who have made a difference and contributed to the services formulated for the common man. A glimpse of the eINDIA exhibition and some more interesting discussions, that's coming up.
enable, focus, ideate, innovate, enable.
An exhibition with stalls from PSUs, SMEs, IT companies and the government was the highlight of eINDIA 2012.
You have an entire cross-section here. You have stalls of the government, you have stalls of the PSUs in the government, you have big IT companies setting up their stalls, you have stalls set up by small and medium enterprises. So what we have tried to do is create a complete ecosystem for the companies which are operating within our state to come and exhibit their products, and we are very happy with the outcome.
Energy and transport system as well as Aadhaar-based delivery services have been vital in recent times.
We are the fourth in enrollment after Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra and Karnataka.
The single identification number will allow
With unique identity for individuals and proposals for monorails, governance in India has been redefined.
Aadhaar is an identity infrastructure. Contrary to the identity infrastructures created in various countries, it has a very unique context in our country where the motivator or the driver has been the development, not really the security. In our country, there are a large number of people who do not have any formal ID proof, and therefore they are not able to access various formal systems and services. So one of the context was to create an ID, to provide IDs to those who do not have one. That's one. Secondly, many of these service delivery domains have their own databases, and because these domains seek to provide benefits to people, there are a lot of leakages taking place due to the ghost and duplicate beneficiaries in each of these databases. So one of the objectives was, how do you create a ID infrastructure where one person is able to get only one ID? And therefore, the name of the authority itself is Unique ID Authority of India.
We have tied up with the SCUMI of Malaysia for technology transfer for monorail system in India. Many state governments have shown their interest on the monorail system, and we have submitted the proposal. Monorail system is very effectively can be used for the cities having approximately 10 lakhs population, and having congested corridors where land acquisition could not be possible. Though it can run on the middle of the road because it requires just a 5 to 6 meter corridor, and easily it can be accommodated.
Convergence is the key. All the IT, communication, these things is one thing, and in most of the urban areas, even in India now, it has come in common person's hands through a smartphone. And mobile service delivery is the next step. Many of the private sector participants, especially in the financial sector like banks, they have come up with their applications on mobile phones, and many of the transactions are happening through that. And but again, integration has to be there. This has to be integrated with the public databases like Aadhaar database or the National Population Register, which is coming up. Once these databases are connected, then the real benefit of ICT flowing to the common citizen, cutting across the public or the private sector, is required.
On the other side of the break, the much-awaited eINDIA Award.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable. Focus, Ideate, innovate, enable.
The eINDIA Awards added all that vigor to the event. Emerging leaders from sector-specific projects were felicitated for their innovative initiatives.
This year, more than 200 award nominees that came from all over the country. We had a jury choice award and a public choice award where more than 1 lakh of people went online and voted for the best projects. And we had expo where more than 100 companies actually participated. So what eINDIA ends up doing as a whole is that you engage so many stakeholders, more than 1 lakh of people across India are engaged in building up of this event. And this creates huge awareness on issues regarding ICT in health, ICT in education, ICT in governance, which are still at a very, very nascent stage in India compared to the Western economies.
My essay was on the future of technology in healthcare, where I discussed different methods which could possibly be in the future used to solve diseases like heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's. I'm really interested in biology and biotechnology as a career option, so when I saw that one of the topics was future of technology in health, I thought that would be a great opportunity to explore the possibility of how technology can save millions of lives.
This is a very proud moment for me to see Hormuz win this second runner-up prize at the eINDIA summit this year. I think we hear so much about the problems in India of education, governance, and healthcare that this was an extremely optimistic and very positive meeting because the youth have come up with numerous solutions which are going to be affordable and accessible to the masses and people in India as well as around the world.
This is my first hour of my life. The topic was the total future of technology in governance. It is more good to say that governance is the use of information technology to support governance operations, engage citizens, and provide governance services.
I won this award for my essay on the future of technology in healthcare, and in the essay I just wrote what came into my head, and I wrote about my vision for the future, which was, about so many things. This is such a vast field. So I wrote about what could happen, the possibilities, and that these are possibilities. So like cancer and Alzheimer's, these diseases, they could be cured. We should have hope because we have the manpower and the talent.
The mood and the agenda at the 8th eINDIA reflected vibrantly as speakers from across the country came together to promote the brand eINDIA. The 8th eINDIA has definitely paved the way in the right direction for the India of tomorrow.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.